and welcome to another Married to Reselling video. We're Simon and Faye, and together we're a UK reselling couple selling mainly on eBay and Amazon. We're wearing the same as our last video, or the next video, because we are batch filming, because we've just been to a tabletop sale. Didn't get much.
No, but it was sort of half an hour, so we thought film in the car.
Coming up later, as usual, our sales from the barn, but first of all, we're going to have a chat about what's going on with eBay at the moment.
Yeah, what is going on with eBay at the moment? I mean, sales aren't great, or they are great. And the other day we had a really good sale, well, 2 really good sales days in a row, and I said to Simon, because I've been out, and I said, I don't want to jinx it, but we've got some, like, eBay's on fire, it's really good. And he was like, oh
yeah, that's done it.
That's done it. And it did do it.
Sure enough, we didn't get an order for over 24 hours from the moment Faye said it.
And we had a no sales day in that week, I think.
No,
we?
that was a while, but that was a while back.
Oh really? I thought we had another one.
No, we never had them.
Oh well, it felt like a no sales day.
Yeah, yeah, it did, but it went over 24 hours, but we did get a sale in that day, or a few sales.
But the sales haven't been great. Like, couple here, couple there, and I want to know what did you do yesterday? Because we were talking about maybe making some tweaks and stuff. Did you do anything yesterday?
Yeah, so I dropped the prices of everything that I've listed on eBay, or everything that's live on eBay that I've listed. So that's stuff that's cross-listed from Amazon to eBay, and then stuff that I've listed myself. It's about 100 listings, I think. And I was going to increase the advertising spend percentage again. I haven't done that yet. We haven't had a sale running, like a coupon or a sale, for a couple of weeks, and I think we were going to sort of see how that went. It's not going great, but as Faye said, we did have some really good sales, but it's almost like eBay said, right, that's enough for you lot now. If you don't put a sale on, a sale event on, you're not getting any sales. So we're probably going to have to do that. What's sort of, Faye always says to me, what's the temperature out there for, and she says that about the weather as well, but what's everyone else saying? And obviously you get a real mix, and also social media tends to be a sort of echo chamber, doesn't it? So if you are looking for posts about like eBay glitches or eBay problems or those sales, those are the posts you'll start getting shown. If you start looking at Amazon charts where people are doing 8 figures, those are the posts that you'll start getting shown. So in terms of like what's actually going on out there, it feels like it's very mixed. There's lots of people doing really well, and there's lots of people that are struggling. And I do think it's important to think about, although it doesn't help at the time, it's important to look at a longer picture. So instead of like, oh, it's been a crap day, thinking about what's the week been like. Well, actually our week has been pretty crap too. Not quite a whole week yet, but there's something definitely going on. And one place, if you want to see how things are going for both buyers and sellers, how buyers and sellers are feeling about eBay, there's a Facebook group called eBay Complaints, and I think that was probably started for buyers, but there's buyers to complain about eBay, like bad service they've been given by sellers or whatever, but there is probably more, I would say there's more buyers posting in that group about problems that they feel eBay is going through, and yes, there's a lot of sellers in there too, but a lot of the comments from buyers are around this seller protection fee, and that basically, and I'm gonna do a separate video about some of these posts on this group, because it is very interesting. I don't mind, a lot of you will find it just completely negative, and if you don't want to see negativity, don't go to that group. But if you do like seeing different points of view and different opinions and different experiences, then go and visit that group, eBay Complaints. screen.
I'll overtake them in a minute. It's okay.
Yeah, go and look at that page and you'll see a lot of people complaining about the buyer protection fees and basically saying, like, what is this? I'm not buying anything from eBay anymore, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you go to Vinted, you're going to be paying buyer protection fees, but that is what is being said, which is worrying as a seller, because the problem is we're business sellers and we don't have the buyer protection fees, you know, on our listings, but buyers don't know the difference. Like, it's almost like you need a filter to filter out the sellers with buyer protection fees, but if they did that, that would be the end of eBay, you know. It was for personal sellers, and that would have a knock-on effect, and it would just, but that's kind of how it feels, that how much of a problem it is that you sort of need something like that. A bit like, you know, Amazon Prime, when you go on Amazon and you can, it's the wildlife and rural crime team.
I didn't think they were going to indicate then, but they did last second.
They're going to pull you over for complaining about eBay. So it's a bit like on Amazon, you know, you can shop with Prime sellers only and not, and it feels like if only we could display that shopping with business sellers, you don't get that extra fee. But the thing is with the personal sellers is they're not paying fees now. So if they're, you know, I don't know what the protection fee is, 4% or whatever, they're actually saving like 6%, you know, with the buyer protection fee. If I was a private seller, there's a lot of businesses obviously acting as private sellers, and when you go in that group, I think it's quite apparent that a lot of people that are complaining about the protection fees are actually businesses operating on personal accounts. But that's a whole different subject, isn't it? But all you would do is drop your prices, because you're not paying fees. So you drop your prices by that percentage, 4%. But still, you know, it still displays that extra price, doesn't it? But yeah, I feel like we need to sort of shout from the rooftops that not all sellers on eBay are charging a buyer protection fee. However, many sellers are charging more because of the eBay fees. So I actually went on our shop and went on Edit Shop. Just, I know it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, and probably like 1 in 1,000 visitors to our shop on eBay would ever go to the About section. But I did write on there, we are business sellers, there is no buyer protection fee, in capital letters.
I didn't know you did that.
I did it about half an hour ago on the way to the jumble sale.
Oh, right, okay.
It's when Faye thinks I'm like doom scrolling, but I'm actually working.
Whatever. Well, I think, because I said to you the other day, yeah, you said like not running a sale event has made an impact on our shop, and I said I don't think it has, because we had some really, really good days, and then we've had shocking. So I think it's inconclusive. But and then you said, well, do we up our advertising spend? And it's like, how high do you keep upping that until it's just getting ridiculous? And we've got the most listings at the moment than we've had in a very long time. And
one of the reasons is because nothing's really selling as fast as usual, so
well, yeah,
numbers are going up quicker.
It's just it's scary. It worries me. I'm not gonna lie. I do find it scary, and I just, yeah. What do we do?
Well, I think, you know, the answer for us, which
nice parking.
We're in a reasonably lucky position, because our cost on most stuff is so low that we can afford extra advertising. You know, if you think like there's a lot of sellers, including us in the past, you know, we'd spend £4 to sell something for £20, right? Well, now we're spending like 10p to sell something for £20 in some cases, not in all, not in most of them, but in some, and sometimes it's more. So we can afford to increase that advertising spend, because currently it's sitting at, you know, we do the dynamic and it might be like 12-13% maximum. So out of a £20 sale, that would be like £3, under like £2.80 or whatever, £2.60. So our cost price used to be £2.60 or £3 or £4 on an item. So we have got that margin, and I think really it's the only way to find out. And do you remember when I did that thing and I put everything on like £100 100% promotion. The stuff was just selling like that.
Oh yeah.
So there is something to be said that, like, you know, the more you spend on advertising, the more you will sell. If you're on the fence about advertising or never used it, it definitely makes a difference in our experience. Oh look, there's loads of boxes on the front porch.
I think they're your favourite ones again. Two Saturdays on the trot.
So yeah, increasing ad spend, you know, will produce sales. That will produce sales. It will obviously lower our margins, but our margins are okay. I've got some really good stuff to list actually from the cupboard. I was going through all the CDs and DVDs that we briefly showed in the haul video from the cupboard, and there's a lot of stuff going off to Music Magpie, about 13 quid's worth, and then a few books for Amazon, a couple of bits and bobs for Amazon, but yeah, there's a few things that I'm going to list on eBay this afternoon. Like there's like Diana Ross Sings the Blues CD that goes for about 30 quid. There was a few things, so I'm going to get those listed this Saturday.
Well, it's raining, so not going to be in the
garden.
garden.
Not going to be gardening, are we?
No, we'll go on any dog adventures. Should we go and see if we've actually got any sales from the barn?
Well, we've got sales from the barn. Yeah. Let's have some sales from the barn.
Crate 14.
Yes.
It's a vintage Marks and Spencer toothbrush holder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What would that look like then?
It's white with flowers on it, and it's oval.
Oh, that?
Yes. That cost £1 a year ago and sold for £4.99 on Vinted plus post.
I'd have found it quicker if you'd mentioned the pink rim.
Clock tub.
Yeah.
Vintage Signora Cafetiera Mocha Coffee Pot Silver.
That one?
Yeah. Bless me. Woo. That cost £1, sold within 6 weeks for £44.99 plus post.
What's special about this?
It's old. It's a coffee pot. It goes on the stove.
For camping and stuff, yeah.
All sorts in your kitchen. It's just people like them.
Nice.
Then we've got crate 3.
Yeah.
Empire Shelton ivory plate, green rectangle with cut corners. Can I be more specific?
No, there you go.
That cost 25p, and that took 17 months to sell for £10.78 plus post.
We'll take it.
Got no choice. Then we've got this photo frame. It's a metal trellis, like with roses on it, and that cost 3.5p from our cupboard. You know, our charity cupboard that we go to. Sold within a couple of weeks for £9.99 plus post. What a beautiful demonstration.
Thanks.
Then we've got home.
Yeah.
Another photo frame, metal. It's the one with all the little squares in it that the person asked.
Oh, yeah.
The size.
We didn't get around to answering, but someone else bought it, so.
That's it. That cost 50p, and that sold within a month for £14.99 plus post. Then we've got someone who bought 2 items. So crate 24.
Yep.
Vintage Royal Worcester ramekins, 13 of them. 11 of them are Evesham Gold and 2 are Wild Harvest. They were free, and they sold along with something from crate 22, which is a vintage Taza dessert stand with a green rim. And that cost 70p. So the ramekins took a couple of weeks to sell. The Taza took about 6 months to sell, and the cost price total was 70p, and they sold for £19 plus post. And then we've got another double order, crate 30. Mind out, little Snoopy boy. A job lot of vintage china plates. So they got batch 3 and batch 1. I labelled them. Each bundle cost £1.75 total from the tea room, and they sold for £52.48 plus post to a very well-known chef in London who has a massive following on Instagram. Not like your Gordon Ramsay or anyone like that, but yeah, they've gone to a restaurant in London. And what I will say about these is they are all odd, none of them match. So I did 3 cake plates and then 10 side plates, all sort of mismatched, and yeah, someone I think that's I think we've got one lot left.
Yeah, there's one lot of those left, yeah.
So I think we had 5 in total, but I'll make some more up because I've got plenty more lacquer.
Yeah.
And then shelf, vintage BHS chandelier ceiling light, 2 of them. These have sold once and come back.
Came back because, you know, bearing in mind it's a vintage, but they were like, oh, they've got a bit of like scuffs on them.
They're upside down, you know that.
Yeah, so I literally just took a couple more photos which I added to. I mean, the photos are already fine. What do some people expect from vintage stuff? But there you go, it's expected to be brand new, but if I wanted brand new, they'd have had to have paid a lot more money.
Gone back in time, maybe.
Yeah.
They cost £7 and sold for £50 plus post within about 3 months.
Yeah, so they sold once, so we had the outgoing postage, which would have been $6.65, and then obviously we paid the return label, so lost about 12 quid off that, so be around about £25 profit, I guess, once it's said and done, which is still alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know, you know, how you're feeling about your eBay store at the moment. Even if you're doing well, or you feel you're doing well, do you feel like you're getting a return for the work that you're putting in? Are you having to work harder to get the same result? Or, you know, we hear that quite a bit. Or are you know, completely happy with how it's going? Because it's a real mixed bag, and there's no sort of right or wrong. It's just more about kind of trying to do what satisfies you. So, you know, everyone needs different money, don't they? Everyone has different sort of levels that they need out of their business. So, you know, for you, how's it going? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye for now.
Bye.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.